right now we have on our website, which is plasketforcongress.org, what we're calling the 7-point plan. These are the initiatives that we, day one, will make sure that we are working on. And that's not to say that this is the total list of things, but one of those things is related to the area of education. And what I had talked about in the last election cycle is something that I'm still very passionate about, was this whole idea of increased funding for our after-school, our summer programs, to assist with vocational training. Those are things that we really need here in the territory, not only for education, but for a reduction in crime. That's necessary, I think, for our young people. One of the other things that I'd looked at was some of the ways that I said that we would move forward was to look at how other jurisdictions have been able to use the law to assist them. And in 2002, the delegate from the District of Columbia, Eleanor Holmes Norton, had legislation passed federally that said that if you were a resident of DC and you applied to any state university, you would get a reduction in that state university's tuition and pay almost in-state tuition. Now I know that Northern Marianas has the same bill on the floor. So for places like the University of Virginia, the University of Michigan, UCLA, University of Florida, the students would be paying almost in-state tuition, and the difference at UVA would be like $47,000 as opposed to $17,000 or $18,000. That would be a huge, enormous assistance, and it would open up so many more possibilities, not only for our students, but also for our families, which are struggling to be able to educate their students. Not to say that we are not going to be working for our own university that's here, but we have to provide our students with every option that's available to them. I think that's the only way that we're going to grow. So those are one of the things that I want to work on. But again, I think growing our economy, jobs, that is the thing that must be done. And one of the ways you talked about Virgin Islanders on the mainland, one of the things that I really want to work on to advance the Virgin Islands and use as leverage against other members of Congress is to coalesce around the Virgin Islands associations and other Caribbean groups that are in the United States, that they could put leverage on their members of Congress to assist the Virgin Islands in our own legislation. And that we, as the U.S. Virgin Islands in Congress, become the voice of the English-speaking Caribbean in Congress, in the federal government. We should be the ones advancing. This island should be advancing the interests of the entire Caribbean in Congress and throughout the federal government. And I want to use that position that way.
My name is Stacey Plasket, and I'm asking for your support, your vote, as your delegate to Congress for a greater U.S. Virgin Islands.